18 games as the starter. 2 of his last 18 games. Meanwhile, he's dealing with the thumb injury. They put him on the bench to rehab to get better. Now you got a guy, last name Bajan, out of D2 schools, and the Bears have won 2 of their last 4 games. So to do the simple math, to conclude all of this conversation, Justin Fields, first-round pick out of Ohio State, has won 2 of his last 18. But now without him, the Chicago Bears have seemingly gotten better, and they currently own the Panthers' first-round pick, and the Panthers only got 1 win. It might be time to move off of Justin Fields. Heading to the desk, a whole lot of information that has been discussed and that will be discussed. Shady McCoy, what's up with you, bro?
You like this? I like this, man.
I like it a lot. I like it a lot. That's Shady McCoy. On the far end, that's Super Bowl champ James Jones. Shady has a Super Bowl of his own right. To the right, that is the brilliant one and only Dr. Joy Taylor. Let's get into some sports talk, please, because I said a lot and I'm tired of listening to myself. Shady, the Bears. Justin Fields, they put a lot into him. They invested a lot into him. Yeah. They chose him instead of using the #1 overall pick to draft a quarterback. They could have drafted C.J. Stroud. They said, no, we like Justin Fields, but he's only won 2 of his last 18 starts. Now the backup quarterback, Bajan, he's already won 2 of his last 4 starts. Have the Bears seen enough from anybody to move on from Justin Fields?
They've been seen enough. It's just been over. I don't know what they're waiting for. They had a chance to get the #1 pick last year, and what did they do with it? They said, no, we're going to pass on that. We're going to keep Justin Fields. But then again, to his credit, they gave him another #1 receiver, and DJ Moore, who's really, really good. Yep. Some offensive lineman, right? So I get what they were trying to do. Now that you've seen it for your own eyes, I guess they didn't see it before, but now you see it now. The kid is 6 and 25. As a starter, that's what he is.
Yeah.
What are we waiting for? How much do you need to see? See, one thing about rookies, I never judge them because it's a whole new environment, right? You go from college to the NFL, the best of the best, the elite of the elite. And it takes time. You got the learning curves, you got the physical part of it, you have all these different things. You're an adult now, you're paying your own bills, you got to pay taxes. All these things matter. So now, first year to your second year, you should see some improvement. The biggest jump in football is from year 1 to year 2.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
From year 2 to year 3, we should even see even more of a jump.
Time to go.
And we haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I don't know the kid. He must be a good kid, though. Must be a great personality because everybody's always trying to defend him and make an excuse up for him why he's not playing well, why he's not winning games. I'll just say this. Bears, you had the same thing last year with the first round or the first pick of the draft. Don't mess it up again. It's a kid named Caleb Williams. Yeah, he might cry sometimes, but boy, he can play. And boy, he can win. A lot of talent. Go out there and get him. Do not make the same mistake again. Please.
James, you think the Bears have seen enough?
No.
Whoa.
They need to see more?
they need to see more. No, to be honest with you, though, all jokes aside, and I know me and
I ain't joking.
Go back and forth on Justin Fields, but I think this is a really tough decision for the Chicago Bears. I do. Because when you look at Justin Fields' last 3 games, he got 716 passing yards, 9 touchdowns, 2 picks before he hurt his thumb. Right? So that's improvement, if you ask me, right? They came out of a conversation saying, I just need to play football, open this playbook up. Since they've done that, Justin Fields has been playing really good football. With all that being said, it's been some bust, right? Right? So everybody think it's just like, boom, slam dunk, like these first-rounders. Like, I'm looking at some of these first-rounders. Josh Rosen, number 10. Zach Wilson. What's Zach Wilson's record? 500. He winning some games. Because of him? You know, so a lot of these times that we look at these wins, I know it's a quarterback stat, but these quarterbacks, Kenny Pickett, it's because of him? No, but he winning? You know, so a lot of these stats when you're talking about winning and all that, you know, sometimes it's a team game. No, all the time it's a team game,
Always, you're right.
And you got to find ways to win. Sometimes offense may not be good, defense got to hold them up. But with all that being said, I think these last 3 games, to what we've seen from Justin Fields before he got hurt, he was playing at a very, very high level. And I think that's something that can catch this attention from this coaching staff to say, we'll pass again on that first round.
Just a quick question before the queen goes. Right? Before the queen goes. Did we all watch Justin Fields lose these games? Had a game 1.
He done lost a couple of them for us.
I've seen that happen.
He done lost a couple of them for us.
I'm just saying, like, so tell the people that, too.
We've seen a lot of quarterbacks.
Don't lie to my American people
Wilson lost some, too, and they 500 is what I'm saying.
Joy, this is not a Zach Wilson conversation.
Thank you.
It is a conversation about seeing enough of Justin Fields. Well, seeing enough of the Bears with Justin Fields' absence. You think the Bears have seen enough to move on?
Yes. I mean, he's in year 3. And, look, it's unfortunate that he's hurt, but you put up the stat of what his record is as a starter. Year 1 to year 2, you should see a significant step up.
Come on.
Year 2 to year 3, we should be sure. 3 years in the NFL is a significant amount of time. I think that's an appropriate amount of time for a coach to turn things around. I think it's an appropriate amount of time to see and without question know you're the guy. And if you have the #1 overall pick and Caleb Williams is coming out in the draft, and even if you don't end up getting Caleb Williams because you mess around and win a couple more games, there's a lot of quarterbacks in this draft.
Drake May's still out there.
So it's really difficult for me to make a case that you should stick with Justin Fields' passes. Now, that doesn't mean that Justin Fields won't go on to play somewhere else.
Of course.
I think he would be a very serviceable backup. We know he has talent. He can run.
He can run fast.
So he can run fast. He's ran for a lot of yards. And maybe this isn't just the right place for him. But you already made the move to stick with him when you had the #1 overall pick this year. You put faith in him. And I like that they did that. Okay, give him one more year. But there's nothing that he's done to secure this franchise position starting for the Chicago Bears. Nothing that we've seen on the field has removed all doubt that this is the guy moving forward. Is there any doubt that C.J. Stroud is the right choice for the Houston Texans?
No, not right now. You know he is.
Is it doubt that Bryce Young is for the Panthers?
A little bit of something. Little something.
No, we don't. We don't know.
Yeah.
But he's a rookie though. Justin Fields is in year 3. He's a rookie. Justin Fields is in year 3.
I'm with you.
I want to keep making arguments for him. And I don't even really care about these games that they've won. Like, great. Winning games is hard to do. You beat the Panthers. You beat the Raiders, who fired their coach midseason. So, like, let's not start throwing parades here for the change. Like, I'm not getting crazy with that part of it. But when you're talking about moving into next season, nothing that's happened so far with Justin Fields' career in Chicago has secured his space.
So that's why I am not at all saying move on for Tyson Bagent.
No.
I am not saying that. What I am saying, though, is in Justin Fields' absence, the Bears have won 2 games. In Justin Fields' presence over the last 18 games, the Bears had won 2 games. So I'm not saying it's a Tyson Bagent thing by any means. I'm simply saying most often people fear moving on from any relationship because of the unknown. Man, what will life be like without this person? But once you've realized what life is like without this person, and for the Bears, you've won 2 of your last 4, why not move on? James, there's only one final thought I have on this conversation is we're also not talking enough about the fact that Justin Fields now be hurt. Last year, I believe it was cracked ribs or chest rib fracture. This year, thumb injury. He's only in year 3.
Yeah.
He's now missed 4 games this year because of injury. He missed 2 games, if I'm not mistaken, last year because of injury. And his rookie year, he didn't start the whole season. I believe Andy Dalton, Andy, please off camera, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe Andy Dalton started Justin Fields' rookie year, so he didn't even have the opportunity to play the whole year, to miss the whole year's worth of games. Yeah. So as I'm thinking about it, he's also an injury-prone quarterback that currently is not that good. I do believe he has all the talent to be very good in the National Football League. But, James, that's my final thought is he's also injury-prone as it pertains to the last 2 years.
And like I say, I mean, it sounds easy. It does sound easy. You win 2 games out of your last 18, it sounds easy. This dude ain't the quarterback for us for the future. But Justin Fields has shown that he can be a really good quarterback in this league. I just talked about his last 3 games. He was playing at a very high level. I'm just saying he's shown you that he can be a really good quarterback in this league. So, yes, I know you're looking at the #1 pick with Carolina's pick, or you're up there, you know, to be able to have a high draft pick, but it's also a lot of busts that come out of the draft, too, at the quarterback spot, too. So,
he's one of them.
You know, and there's 15 other ones on here, too.
But real quick, because I'm going to go to the Niners, so I just want to ask, like, out of all them, 31 teams or 31 games he's played, you only talk about his last 3? What about all the other ones? He looked awful, though. What about them games, though?
I mean,
James,
a lot of quarterbacks look awful.
But just because other quarterbacks don't look good, and just because he might have shown a little glimpse of getting better, they're not looking to get better. They're looking for their franchise guy. And they did give him 3 years.
Well,
like, we're not talking about moving off of him after a rookie. 3 years in the NFL, like, that's
a long time.
That's grace. That's
I was
that's
on my 3rd year, brother.
Yeah. That's a lot.
But first off, the Bears is rebuilding. They are in a rebuild situation, right? So it's not like the Bears just got this dominant roster and this quarterback is hitting the building and they finna win and get to the playoffs.
Hold on. The Bears are rebuilding, in my mind, because their quarterback has not been who they thought he would be. Like, that's why the Bears are rebuilding.
But look
if
at
Justin
the roster,
Fields was
though.
but remember, if Justin Fields was who they thought he would be, I believe Roquan Smith would likely still be there because they'd probably be saying, let's win now.
So
but after realizing, wait, you know what? Justin Fields is not who we think he's going to be. Let's rebuild. Yeah. That is why I think they're rebuilding.
So Justin Fields is not who we think he's going to be, so let's trade away all of our good players
and let's
keep
try
Justin Fields?
And let's try to reload. Because think about it. Now
they did help him out, though.
They did. Now you got to go trade for Chase Claypool. Now you got to go trade for DJ Moore. Like, now you have to do all of these things because, in my mind, because the quarterback was not who he was supposed to be. The Bears were not that bad. Remember, the Bears made it to the playoffs, had a 12-4 season with Mitch Trubisky, I believe it was 2018. The Bears, even under Matt Nagy, were vying for playoff spots. You know better than I. You watch the Packers. You know that division in the NFC North very well. So the Bears were not this bad before Justin Fields. I just can't say
what
that
is
they
the
were
product on the field this year?
It's been bad, of course.
A very bad football team, a very bad roster. Like this, right now, they are in a rebuild situation. Whatever quarterback comes through that building, they're in a rebuild situation.
Yeah, but you do have a number one wide receiver, though.
I also don't think it's a bad...
You got him with Justin Fields or with Caleb Williams or with whoever you draft.
I don't think that the Bears are without fault here at all. I'm with you. Like, it's not like this is a roster that we would put at the top of the league. They do have some pieces. They did bring in receivers. But at some point, you have to also be responsible. You're on the field. You have the ball in your hands more than anyone else. You're the quarterback, and you did have 3 years. After a rookie season, and also it's not helping that you have guys like Jalen Hurts who didn't necessarily look good in their first year and then looked a little bit better in their second year.
Come on, talk
and then
about it.
We're in the Super Bowl in the
Josh
third
Allen's
year.
another one.
Like, yes, like you have to show some significant development. Even if the rest of the roster is not holding up their end of the bargain, we should be able to use our eyeballs and see, wow, like if he just gets this, or if he just has an offensive line, or if he just gets a running game, they're out of here. No one feels that way about this roster, but nobody feels that Justin Fields is making anyone else better.
Hold on, Shady.
Okay.
The only reason is because you said something, and I didn't always agree with it, but the more you started to say it, I thought about it.
You should start with agreeing with it.
People were like, man, Justin Fields needs help. And Shady would always retort, the receivers need help, saying the receivers need help from the quarterback. I don't want to condemn the roster because of Justin Fields. Because when I think about the Bears wide receivers, I think the Bears wide receiving core is good. When I think about even the Bears running backs, whether it's Deontay Foreman, whether it's, I believe, Roshan Johnson, the Bears running back room is solid. When I think about the Bears, they are trying offensive line. They use a first-round pick at tackle, I think number 11 pick out of Tennessee.
They're trying.
They're trying. Defensively, you got Jalen Johnson. Eddie Jackson, when healthy, is back there as safety. You got T.J. Edwards. You have Tremaine Edmonds. I can't even say the roster is bad. And I don't like condemning the entire roster because the record is bad. Because now that Justin Fields has not been playing, the record is at 500. Albeit, Joy makes a great point. Bad teams. But Justin Fields has played bad teams, too.
And that's, man, he everything I want to say he just stole. Like, he's a thief. But anyway, I will say this. Yeah. I look at a guy like DJ Moore. I watched him play with the Carolina Panthers. Solid years, right? Yeah. Even last year. He ain't no real good quarterback, but he made the best of it because he's a good wide receiver. Why he can't do the same thing in Chicago?
But he got good numbers.
I mean, does he?
He does.
It could be better. They could be better.
Anybody's could be better.
They could be
but
better.
He has good
I think
numbers,
the type
though.
of player he is, the quarterback he has, he can't really get off the way he wants to. That's the truth of it.
But also, but to your point about the bus, like this draft class, nobody in this draft class other than Trevor Lawrence has really had any success. So it's not like you can really point and say, okay, they made a mistake or, they should have gone and kept, like they would have taken Bryce Young. They weren't going to take back-to-back Ohio State quarterbacks either. So they wouldn't have gone with C.J. Stroud. So there's a lot of things that you can point to here. But at the end of the day, 3 years is a significant amount of time in the NFL. You had a genuine opportunity. No, the Bears are not perfect. Believe me, I'm the first one to say it. That's not a place where quarterbacks generally have success, but they have tried. And it's just what it is.
Also, football just talk, right? Yeah. So put yourself in his shoes. When I was a rookie, I was so average. I was happy to be there. Like, oh, man, like, right? Missing blocks, happy to be there.
You learn.
I'm happy to start.
You learn.
My second year, like, all right, I'm ready to play. I start getting better and better. You see it on tape.
Slowing down.
By the third year, I'm like, yo, I'm here. Yeah. When we watch Justin Fields, we don't see none of that. I see maybe a little bit better. I'm lying. I'm lying. I don't say that. He runs really good. But you should put yourself in that same shoes. Like, why haven't we seen any jumps? I don't see any jumps.
See, that's why it's difficult for me because before he got hurt, I was seeing
the last 3 games?
The last 3 games, he was playing very, very well.
What about the games before that?
I can't argue his record.
Wait, hold on. Do we not see, this is the problem I hate when people start talking about players, right? Are we just not going to count them other ones he played bad?
Well, you should. When you're a young player,
to me, it's not that easy of a decision.
You don't count it, but you should be showing improvement. The problem is, at this point, we should know especially if you have an opportunity
He's
to
our
draft
guy.
another guy. There should be at this point, it should be, okay, he can still get better, but we know this is our guy.
Right.
And that's what we don't have.
I see that. I can see that.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.